welcome to the Honest Wargamer and
Me, Vince.
the
Hi.
Warhammer Weekly. I think.
Is that what it is? There you
It's
go.
on YouTube as well.
That's right. Yes. So we're doing both. So this is both Honest Wargamer, Warhammer Weekly, Vince and Rob together again. It feels like the first time.
You're kind of. Hold on. Let me just get this right for us both. Wait. Let me just. Does that make it all bad?
Yeah. There you go.
If I scrunch down,
it's like you just over the course of the show, you should just slowly scooch. There, I didn't. Is that? Hopefully, that's better for everybody.
Yeah, we'll just get your. I'm used to enunciating pretty vocally in this room.
Okay, I will make sure I speak clearly.
Yeah, we got you.
There we go.
Yeah, we got
All
you.
right.
Yeah, we got you. We'll just make sure. Hello, everyone in the chat. Welcome to the show. We're about to watch the reveal. It's literally moments away.
Couldn't be more excited.
Okay.
I mean that, really. I literally do mean that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I am very excited about this because I have a strong suspicion I know exactly what's coming.
I think we both know,
Yes.
like roughly. I think it's. Is this a rat?
This and this. This and this.
Wait, I'll do the tree and you be
Okay.
the rat. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's both of those. I think
Yes.
is what we're seeing. I think, and that's been kind of already been spoiled in a bunch of different ways. I
Yes.
guess the real question is there going to be something outside of that box which we weren't expecting?
Yes, that's what I am saying. I am hopeful. Look, I'm injecting that pure hopium right into my veins. Just load me up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I believe I can fly. I believe there will be more than just that. I really do. I think we're gonna. I'll tell you what got me hyped.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready.
And maybe I'll be let down in a minute. But you know what? I'd rather ride the high of having hope than be sad. And here's the thing. I looked at the 40K reveals yesterday, and I didn't watch the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I looked at it afterward, and I was like, that's a pretty good amount of stuff.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good amount of cool stuff.
It's a good amount of stuff. I think the issue with the 40K stuff specifically is none of it was a condensed product. It was like,
Sure.
you might get some World Eater stuff. Here's a bit of some squats.
Yeah.
And you were like, okay, like it's not. It was an amuse-bouche of a release.
That is such a wonderful way to put it. Yes, absolutely. We got a sort of charcuterie board of all of the different delicacies of the Warhammer 40K world. But I was looking at it, I was like, that's a cool trike. That's some cool Chaos Space Marine stuff. Oh, I like those new cultists. I thought it was cool to see the new Demon Prince on the 40K side and get confirmed that we were going to have other heads that isn't that stupid ugly head they showed off in the first one. Like, I don't know, offense to whoever sculpted the sort of default head we saw in the AOS article, but man, was that an ugly face. But those other alternate heads of like the god-specific
The God
heads,
ones were good.
they were great. I loved the
Main
corn one.
Not good.
No, I loved the corn one. I loved the Slanesh head. I thought even the Nurgle head looked cool. I wouldn't use it, but there you go. The perfect gold recipe: 3 drops of Vallejo metal color gold, 2 drops of Vallejo metal color copper, 2 drops of flow improver, and 1/128th of a teaspoon.
We just slapped up a bit of this.
Sure.
And then Nazrak yellow. Minutes.
Of Green Stuff
Minutes.
World antique gold pigment. There you go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hello in the chat. Obviously, if you're watching on Warhammer Weekly YouTube,
Yes, we can see all of it. I
This
can
is
watch
your
all of it.
first time in the arena,
It is.
and first time you've seen it. What are your thoughts?
It's gorgeous.
Oh,
You
well,
really built something awesome. I mean that. Like, it's super cool. The tables, the setup, the sort of stream decks that you built a custom website just to be able to collect all that information and stream to make this amazing technical thing you've got going on here happening. We're in like a spaceship command center right now. You all don't know that, but Rob basically streams from a spaceship control. That's what this is. I feel like I am literally at like I am going to pilot some sort of Thunderhawk gunship.
Well,
here
we
in a
have to
moment.
be professional. Like this is kind of important because really the entire place. The entire place is built to do live coverage of events. This room then becomes way over the top for just talking to the Twitch chat.
Sure.
But I enjoy the process. I enjoy it a lot. It's lovely having you here. Thank you.
It's wonderful to be here.
I also got to hang out with you a bit last night and
Yes.
take you for some food, which was.
Well, we
a
just
delight.
randomly ran into each other at the
that's
kebab
what-
shop.
yeah, that's what we did. So it was really fun, and it's been lovely having you here. I'm looking forward to today. Chat, what up? We play some. You might have. I know you've done your own reveals shows before
Yes.
and other stuff, but we always play little games.
Okay, I'm ready.
Like there's some different elements because obviously we've done a reveal show a react show for every single reveal since COVID started.
Yep.
And our first one is, as I need you to guess how many books we're going to see today. Now that's always really key. Books and model ratio is really key.
Yeah. Okay. So but this is cheating now.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
all right. It's not a question anymore. Okay. Let's think about this logically, Rob.
Yeah.
We've got 8 books coming this year.
I only think about things emotively.
Well, we're gonna have to switch your thinking then. So, pull the handbrake. Let's do this. Okay.
Okay.
Elias said he likes the ugly demon prince head, which I love. Like, good. That shows that there's something for everyone out there. I'm glad it's in the kit then for you, Elias. But I'll be using the sweet Slaanesh head.
You're wrong.
Okay. We know there are 8 books until the end of the year. Now, Rob, I know the roadmap showed 7 up to the ill.
But we think 8.
But obviously it's 8 because they don't do single book releases anymore.
Because you release a box. I call them FOMO boxes.
Which I do too now because I don't know what else to call them.
Okay.
I've just borrowed your terminology.
It feels fair.
I'm joining the cult.
I do. Vince is convinced that the Honest Wargamer chat is a cult. So what up, cult members? Thanks for being here. I don't agree, but we talked about this in detail last night. But so we know 8 books. What are you thinking beyond that?
Yeah, so I mean, like, I honestly don't think they're gonna show us any more of those 8 today. Okay. Because they're going to keep whatever the 4 are that are in the autumn probably in their pocket still. Obviously, we're going to see the 2 in the summer.
Yep.
I'm guessing we're going to get a hint at the next season of Warbook. Okay? Because I think we're going to get 2 of those basically per GHB cycle. So you'll have 1 GHB and then you get 2 seasons of war over that time period.
You think we're going to see one already?
Like now to come out in 4 months. Yeah. Yeah. Because there'll be one that'll release on the backside of the GHB.
Okay. All right, interesting. Someone came up with something I thought was really interesting in one of the YouTube comments recently, which hadn't really clocked on. A lot of the scenery that we've seen come out over the past year has been very Mortal Realms focused, and also very much like our Dawnbringer Crusade army that we hope is coming out. We don't have any idea. Like, do you think there's anything in that? It feels to me when I read that I was like, oh god, that makes a lot of sense because we know that they've had production issues and production cycle issues. You don't think we're going to see those humans of the realms this year? Oh,
nope.
Okay.
Here. Do you want my honest call? I wish we were going to see the Dawnbringer Crusade stuff. I think you'll be lucky if you see it before next year, like before GHB next year.
Okay.
All right. A full year plus.
Let me just do that so everyone can. It's kind of like they're us, but we're cooler.
Well, I have a better jacket, I think.
I like that they match shirts. This has been too high for the whole time. Let me fix that.
They do both have a very pleasing flannel. I think Adam needs some, like, obviously Eddie right on brand with Severeth, cheater of the 7 wins on his shirt, but Adam nothing. I would have liked to see maybe a Middle Earth thing. Adam's a big Middle Earth guy, right?
He used to be the head of Middle Earth.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to have seen Adam to bring that energy. I didn't know there was a Severeth t-shirt in production, if I'm honest.
I've never seen it before. I'm thinking Eddie had that custom made.
I assume if someone approaches you, it just takes itself off.
Right, yes, correct. Every time you get near Eddie, his shirt rips off of him and goes 12 inches backwards. Correct.
Yeah. So books. So I know. So we finished with where you think the book.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. We'll see like 3.
You think 3?
Yeah, like the season war and the 2 that we know are coming.
Okay, 3 books. Chat. It's time for you to guess how many books you think it is. Personally, I think we know the 2 we're going to see. I think we're going to see 2, and then something mysterious. Maybe our first piece of Warhammer animation for Age of Sigmar. They finished strong. Yes, they finished strong yesterday on Warhammer animation. It's super important for them as a product to keep pushing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see something about that. I'd be very excited, Vince, for the Slaanesh book. I got a long hope that the Chaos book in the summer is Slaanesh.
There's no way. I do think that the Order book's going to be Lumineth, but I don't think the Chaos book's going to be Slaanesh. And the reason I think that, Rob, is very simple. We live in the worst of all possible timelines. So whatever I think would be best is absolutely the opposite of what we're going to get.
Positive one.
I am. I'm very positive. I'm positive about that.
Okay. I'm very sure that that's the situation.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, chat in the chat. Sorry, you might be getting some bots in the chat informing you, because we're streaming on 3 different platforms, so those different chats will all be being linked to each other, is what you're all seeing. So I want you to be conscious of that. It's not going to happen next time. It's just because we would like to both be able to do this for both of our audiences at the same time.
Yeah, so I apologize
sorry,
for all that. No, it's fine.
My cult and your what are people who listen, if it's a cult for me, what's yours?
I don't know, just people who watch the channel.
All right, okay. People listening to us will give crazies.
I didn't say crazies. I made no such. First of all, I didn't say your fans were a cult. I said you're a cult leader. There is a difference.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I'm not even selling Kool-Aid yet. That's coming. That's coming. We're actually in the process of, I don't know if you know this, because I know like you're very big into like the different hobby products that you can do. Obviously, you've got
sure.
a million great videos people can watch about
thank you.
Painting and hobby products. We're working.
You managed to eclipse them all in a single video. I watched Slap Shop Rob and I thought, well, that's it. I'm done. I thought about packing it in right there. Nothing more to say.
Don't worry.
We've hit peak YouTube.
I'm doing wet slap chop next.
Excellent.
Which is just blending.
I can't wait.
No, we're working on a product which I think is really valuable and going to be very important.
I would like to point out Big Tom 87 podcast Hydro Homie. It's definitely a cult. Thank you. Thank you, Big Tom.
Thank you. Wait, not sure, maybe. But we're working on a slap chop because we do use water sometimes. We're working on a slap chop like water vessel container. It's going through a lot of R&D.
I can see that.
It's going to go through a lot of R&D, so we're not really sure how it works. Okay, so Eddie and Adam, matching outfits, matching-ish. It's nice that they've gone for this flannel look. I think
they're very rugged.
Not a look that I like started in the history of humanity.
It's definitely a look you've popularized.
As a Warhammer Live commentator, a look I feel like I popularized. And at one point, I wasn't allowed to do at Games Workshop. I was specifically told it was not professional enough to do. And now we've turned a corner. What do you think? What do you think they're trying to say with the flannel, Vince?
Hey, man, the pandemic was rough all over, buddy. I think that's what we're trying to say here. You know, look, a while ago at my job, you know, if you were going to be on camera, you would have expected to be, you know, pretty fairly business casual. I mean, you're not wearing a tie, but everybody would have had a nice button-down shirt or something like that if you're going to be on camera, if you're going to be in person. Now, I see in the office, see people on camera. Look, man, 2.5 years of doing Zoom meetings. Everybody's just like got a T-shirt on. Maybe some people have a flannel on or something relaxing. Like people are relaxed.
You're always gonna have a shirt though. You always come correct.
I dress exactly like this every day. Button-down collar shirt, same thing. I set myself by the fun T-shirt I wear.
Which one have you got?
Like right now, I have Shermer High 1985.
Hold on, let's show everyone. Let's go. Let's go. Shermer High 19. Oh, okay. Is that your high school?
1985. No, that is the high school of the Breakfast Club. Shermer High, 1985, Saturday.
Okay, let me help the Zoomers out. Zoomers in the chat. The Breakfast Club is a movie that we used to be able to get on the TVs. It's kind of like TikTok, but longer. They're TikTok videos, but longer.
And it's about them spending... Oh,
hold on. Let's get some audio for us and the chat. Yeah. We should all be able to hear this.
Okay. We'll hear them a mile off. I heard there ain't such a thing as rat men. Then what do you think the regiment's been after? Shh. General's gone mad.
We're just getting straight into Skaven. There it is. Let's do this. I want you to know I'm barely containing my excitement right now.
Nice edit, though.
This is great. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
God, this is perfect. This is Weave Rats.
Look at this guy.
White Skaven Lawmaster of Star. Oh, okay. Our guy in the FOMO box. Okay,
yep.
I thought it was a
awesome.
unit for a while.
No, it's okay.
Master for the Skaven, Eddie.
We're going to get
what
more.
What do you know?
We're going to get more, Rob. Don't worry.
As you say, this is a brand new hero character for the Skaven.
Okay, yeah, me either. So this is going to be our rat in the FOMO box, right? That's exciting.
Dude, look at him. That dude is great. Are you kidding me? Look at this guy. First of all, I'm excited that you can see the studio branching out. Look at that non-metallic blade.
Okay, talk to me about this, because like that just looks like a slap-chopped blade to me. That's all any paint job looks like to me.
Gotcha. Well, like, yes, that blade is done in non-metallic metal, something they don't classically do. That's actually quite a modern style of NMM with the blacked blade and then the varying sort of light points with the soft fuzz. So it's really interesting. Notice that they even, I know they can't see me pointing, but notice even the reflection here. Notice that there's a reflection in the blade of it reflecting his mauve hat.
Nice.
Right?
Yes.
They're pulling some of the green from the goo
You
up.
can see it on the center panel quite well.
Yeah, so whoever
above
did
his
this,
hat.
like in the heavy metal team, is clearly experimenting with some additional styles. I love to see this breaching out. Like this whole guy is done in NMM. That's wonderful to see.
We actually saw that yesterday. They did crazily. There was weathering on our Leagues of Votan boat.
I love it.
Which is something rare because, and you would be able to give me a better indication on why. Heavy metal have had a very particular style for many years. How is this different to that?
Yeah, because for a long time there was sort of a very established, clean, crisp, using true metallic metals, using all of these basically all the shorthand of what had been established. And now I think they're starting to expand because as they expand the heavy metal team, you've got a lot of painters out there. They're all good painters. They're watching other people in the world paint. They're looking at other art they see in other artists do. They themselves have their own interests, and so they want to expand how they're doing it, right? Which is great. Even I can see the hints of some pigment and stuff. It looks like on that base as well. If now we could just get them away from doing a brown rim on the side. Boy,
you don't like the brown rim?
No, that's incorrect.
Is it only black always?
You can have any color you want as long as it's black.
Okay. Okay. Not Goblin Green. You're
no,
against that.
Definitely against
You're
that.
super against Goblin Green.
Right in the bin. The ash bin of history.
I can't believe that. Some people are very keen on Goblin Green. I know.
Yeah, there's lots of people who are wrong about things in the world.
Okay, all right. So this is obviously going to come. So this is a special character,
yeah,
and is also Clan Eshin. I'm pretty certain.
Look, the Deathmaster right now is super underwhelming. I don't know if you've played with or against Skaven, but there is a guy
Both.
in the the Eshin leader who is called the Deathmaster. The only death he's the master of is his own because that's all that happens. He pops out of a unit and then he's dead instantly because he's worthless. So a new character like this in the Eshin ranks, I'm glad to see it. If we can also, as part of obviously this confirms everything. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay,
there we go. One book.
One book.
1 out of 3 for you. 1 out of 2 for me.
I see we're in the same art category.
Danger, Will Robinson. I imagine this is a copy and paste book.
I don't believe that. Well, first of all, here's what I'll say. I kind of hope so, Rob.
Okay.
Okay, because let's talk about the Skaven book. I think the Skaven book is honestly an incredibly good book. Because it doesn't use the standard subfactions. Instead, the individual clans brought their own new stuff, or, individual to the table, depending on what was there. Like the Skaven book when it initially came out was actually pretty reasonably pointed. It was just a little too cheap given the meta at that time. If you put those guys back at their original points now in the meta, you'd gain 3 points and they'd still be below the fat middle. Okay? Because they're so incapable of surviving right now. But the rules and the feel of most of Skaven was already Skaven.
So yeah, so where I would agree with you is I think the data sheets are great.
Yep.
Across the board, spells fine.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we keep all that. I would just like to make it easier to build my individual clans.
Correct. There you go.
And then I would like a better overarching set of allegiance abilities.
100%.
So that's easy for them to do.
I agree.
It looks like they've already copy and pasted a bunch. So now just carry on.
And that's you just nailed it exactly, right? The individual war scrolls and a lot of the spells and stuff like that, even some of the items were pretty cool and pretty good and pretty flavorful, right? The thing that was problematic was the army construction rules and the base allegiance abilities were off and off. Some were just incredible and some were just who cares, right? So what I wanted to see is retool the first 3 pages, retool the army construction rules. Can we please change the battle line situation here, right? That's what we want. Because it sucked that you either had to be all in one mono clan with a master clan leader, and then your army was just hamstrung and worthless, okay? Or you had to have 60 clan rats. That was it. Those were your options.
When you're talking battle line, though, I think there's one thing that everyone is keen for, and it's battle line doom wheels. It's the clear win. You just sell doom wheels forever.
I recently played a Skaven army. I ran a bunch of doom wheels in it. I crushed some Stormcast. I just want you to know.
Okay,
now, it was a Storm Keep sort of list, so they were lib / that kind of thing heavy. Yeah. And they can't handle the Doom Wheel Thunder. That's just it. We just rolled over them.
No one can.
Just rolled over them, baby.
Because it's the perfect indication. If you guys don't know, when you move Doom Wheels, they move 4d6, but you do have the ability to re-roll it. But if you do re-roll that
you
dice,
never use that.
I've seen it many times.
I've never used that ability once.
And used it myself. Yeah, the keen, the crazy. That's when the eye of the rat emerges in the player that you're playing or in yourself.
Sure.
It's when the lunacy that is Skaven, I think, is best exemplified, because if you roll low, if you roll it again, or if you re-roll it, and you roll any ones, your opponent then gets to move it. But that is quintessentially perfect and Skaven, which is why I think all of the units are pretty great. I would maybe like to see... actually, no, all of it's good. I'd like to see the Hell Pit Abomination get a little bit more speed.
Yeah, more damage. A couple units need a little more speed, like the Hell Pit. A couple units need some more damage. Like the Vermin Lords need the standard kick up to Greater Demon level that we see most of the Greater Demons go through. We need some damage up. The army basically does no damage right now outside of, just stacking a million Storm Fiends.
Scryer as well, mainly.
Yeah, like Storm Fiends.
Yeah.
That's it. But that can't be that's a really toxic play style if that's the only thing in the army. We need some other damage options in there.
But it is a 63% of the time it works every time, which is
100%. That's the problem, is that thing is like you play one list and you'll just completely obliterate them. Oh, we're going again.
We're going again. Okay, so now Sylvaneth.
I would imagine that's got to be next, right? We got to get into the Sylvaneth.
Okay, let's go.
Life flows
there we go.
to the realms once more, and where there is growth, we will spring forth to defend it in Alariel's name.
Oh, look at this.
Yes,
now that's a unit.
That's a unit. There are bug riders, which have been rumored quite often.
All right.
So we got
look at these bad boys.
They're very cool. Oh, Gossamed archers.
Look at these little fairy archers.
Nice. So they're going down the more Fae theme.
Yeah.
That's excellent. The Lady of the Vines. Wow, what a throwback.
Okay.
That's exciting. As a Sylvaneth player, very exciting.
I mean, you see what I'm saying? This is what I said. I stand behind my original thing that I thought we were going to just get more than the FOMO box heroes. So I assume the Lady of the Vines is the new hero.
Lady of the Vines will be the new... maybe. I think probably the other half of the FOMO box will be everything we've just seen.
Sure, these other new kids.
Yeah, these kids.
Whatever these like...
Which is a Sylvaneth person is going to be very exciting. Which means there's going to be a lot of spare kits of the Skaven available to...
Sure.
Because I think Sylvaneth are one of the most popular factions when they've got play.
100%.
I think
people love this army.
Yeah, people absolutely adore this army. It just genuinely doesn't feel very sensible to play.
So we've done multiple surveys on aesthetics. Okay, like we've had people rate aesthetics, in multiple surveys, and Sylvaneth and Nighthaunt show up at the top consistently every time. Mm-hmm. These are like thousands of people we've put through the survey, and Sylvaneth and Nighthaunt consistently at the top of the aesthetic line.
Interesting.
People love the look of this.
I think because, especially with Nighthaunt, it's so incredibly unique compared to everything else. Often it's a mortal doing X, because we don't have as much, Xenos, I guess, although we've got demons and things. But, for me, I really like the fact that they've gone along the bug theme, and they've moved into Fae, as opposed to, I guess, just more Wood Elf. They had that option, right? And they clearly have gone along that route, which I think is gorgeous. And this is a fantastic sculpt. I think this is really great. I've seen a lot, obviously doing the 3D print shows, I've seen a lot of tree-based miniatures over the past year or so.
Sure.
And so it's hard to super impress me, but I think this is great. I think this is really good. Not bad at all, to be honest.
I think I actually quite like the mix of the natural crown she's wearing amongst the vines, like how her tree branches are growing in and out amongst them. You know what I mean? I think that's actually pretty cool. I'm not sure about this back piece she has. She has this little, I assume that's her soul pod amorphe or whatever on her back. I'm not sure about that, but overall I like the look.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it looks good. It looks good, and she's on a very big base as well, right?
Yeah.
So we're expecting her to be a wizard.
I would assume so. She's got a stick.
Definitely level 1. Definitely level 1. That's going to be the heartbreak.
You say that.
Terrible.
I want most wizards in the game to be one-cast wizards.
Oh my god.
We have too many multi-cast wizards in the game.
We don't have enough.
Call me. What's his name? Call me. What's the bad guy from Doctor Strange?
Someone who wants to kill the wizards.
Yes. You know what? I figured out what the problem with the world is. There's too many wizards. That's the problem. Can't remember his name.
I personally would like to see some more wizarding knocking around. Yeah,
Baron Mordo. That's who it was. Yes,
I have no idea who that is.
It's Baron Mordo.
I have not
yeah.
watched. Is that the new Doctor Strange?
No, that was the first one.
Oh, no, I don't think I watched that either.
It was good.
But yeah, I would like to see more cast. But the interesting bit about the Sylvaneth roster is it's already got a lot of wizards.
Sure.
We got the Tree Song Revenant, Alariel, obviously, Tree Lord Ancient, one cast wizard, lol. Like it would be great to see. Like, and then you've got the little foot characters. So it would be really good to see like this have some other utility in the army.
Yeah.
Now the riders are excellent because mainly Sylvaneth's mobility has always been orientated around the trees that they put on the board. Having something that is fast in of itself because it's on a bug.
Well, my guess is both the bug riders and the archers, we're going to see some speed there because if the archers have those little fairy wings, then one assumes they're not flying around at a speed of 5.
No, it should be 12.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what that says is we're getting 2 very mobile units here, right?
Yeah, which is good because the Sylvaneth book needs that.
Right.
Because then maybe Games Workshop could write something around. This obviously means a rewrite again of a Sylvaneth Wildwoods, which is exciting because this is the 18th time in 3 months. Now, these are fantastic. So Unit of 5, great. Hope they don't get the crossbows treatment. Because they are like ineffective to say the least.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind more crossbows. As maybe a slight step better than them, but things I don't need in the world, more amazing shooting. I would like them if they were quite effective, but at a relatively short range. That's the shooting we need to see in the game.
And I agree. But their mobility is always so. The issue is they've like we've said, if their mobility is 12, then and their shoot is 18, their range is already 30. So so it could be 12 and 12 to make it 24.
Hi, Adam. Yes, we're having fun.
And then make it more effective. That would be super cool.
Yes.
But ultimately, having a slightly different unit in this army is excellent because I'm all about unit rolls. I'm all about what was the Daughter of Cain one that they released recently? The lady. And I was just like, you don't need another one on-foot lady character in your Daughters of Cain army. I don't think. For a unit role.
I mean, given what she did to Sisters and Witches, she certainly fills a role. But that role being turning those girls into murder machines. But, my general feeling is, I agree. One of the problems with the game right now is we have too much, long-range, high-power, mortal wound triggering shooting. Okay, and I've said many times in the show that one of the fatal flaws right now is when you take shooting is always by nature more powerful. We had a long conversation about this last night, right? So when you take shooting, which is already by default more powerful in the current game for a lot of fundamental reasons, and then you add on the ability to trigger mortal wounds, and you add on the ability to make it long range, then you add on the ability to get rerolls, or to ignore line of sight, or to pick the 5 other things. Then you get a very dangerous unit that suddenly twists army rosters, right? But if these guys are 12-inch move, maybe they got a 12-inch shot or a 15-inch or 16-inch shot. They're 2 shots, 3s, neg 1/1 with some kind of special ability. Great, perfect. I'm in. Let's do this.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
That's a useful unit.
I agree with you. I think Harpies for Daughters of Cain are good examples of units that do stuff. I think the problem is though you would be releasing them into a world of already terror.
That's fine. Break all the rest of that stuff. I want to break everybody's pretty toys.
But they won't. So the bugs are pretty.
I really dig these. These guys look cool. They all have the helmet from the other hero.
Yes.
The whatever his name is.
The Tree Revenant. No, that's not his name.
Arch Revenant.
Arch Revenant. Yeah,
that's
is
that it. Okay, there we go.
Halfway there.
Yeah. They all have his helmet.
Yeah. Which is cool because we're seeing more of that elven faction in conjunction, because there were at one point there were 2 elven factions. Well, no, there was a singular elven faction that was in league with Sylvaneth, but when Sigmar closed that gate, look at me, Sigmar closed that gate, the wood elves stayed inside Azir and some of the elves stayed outside, and now there's been an uneasy alliance betwixt the two forever. And so these have obviously gone more not feral, but they're definitely more in nature because their bottom half is all wood basically.
You ever watch Nausicaa?
Yes, fantastic.
One of my most favorite movies of all time. And I'm serious when I say this gives me some, especially those bugs, gives me some serious Nausicaa vibes.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Right.
That's very cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind them going down that. They've got some great design cues. Games Workshop, famously, really inspired by a lot of art. Yet no one could be inspired by them.
We got 2 different versions. Yeah, it's a dual kit. See, so we got the Rider Lancers, which obviously, okay, question for you. Yeah. Here we go, Rob. Is this unit also a wizard? Look at the leader's swirly twirly banner stick. Is that just a swirly twirly banner stick?
Just a twirly banner stick.
Okay.
That's not because we got a musician, we got a banner,
okay,
and then we got the leader, so we got the unit of 3.
All right, good.
Which is
We're gonna keep the unit wizards out of here.
You don't want units of wizards.
No, we've seen how that goes. It's called Lumineth. It's terrible.
Well, I'm excited.
Show us the picture of the other guys again. Go to the other guys.
I'm excited for these guys because I think it would be fun to have some more utility in a Sylvaneth army.
Yeah.
Because they needed this. This is a unit role they didn't have. They didn't have speed on foot. They always relied on there being something to do with a tree. Well, not on foot, but like without other mechanics being involved.
Yeah.
So this is.
Are we going to see these guys fly in 16?
Maybe 12 to 16. I'm sure. I doubt they'll be particularly hardy. I don't know. They don't look like 4 wounds, so maybe we'll cap them at 3 wounds. They could be 4 wounds like Zangor on disc, which is still insane to me that they're 4 wounds apiece, but sure.
I think you'll probably see them 4 wounds. Like, let's. Oh, and okay, here we go. The Revenant Seekers. All right, so yeah, these guys clearly shorter weapons, right? The other dude with lances.
Yeah.
These guys are going to be more of your probably like, I don't know. Who knows what the difference is going to be. All right, here, let's do this. I'm gonna say 16-inch move.
Yep. 4
wounds. I'm going to say base 4-up save. Okay. And I'm going to say these bug guys have the 3-inch coherency roll.
Of course they do. Look at them wings.
Look at them wings. They're going to have the dragon / prosecutor / the other things they've added that to. Alapexes. The 3-inch coherency roll.
Yeah. Pretty well. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I like these. I think these are okay. The bugs bits are fine. Like I don't mind them.
I quite like them.
Yeah, they're a little bit complicated for me as a painter. I see that, and that looks a tad daunting. I hope the legs aren't built into the bug model. They will be, but it would be nice if they weren't.
Well, they might be like the Nurgle legs, where it's just like the leg. You got the body, and then you just kind of like stick the leg up in.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine, but you could just make it so you just stick it on. That would be sweet. like just paint them separately.
Sure.
But just for some speed. I'm really interested in the wings though, because that looks like a very difficult effect to achieve.
I don't think so. That looks super simple. Like that's just a creamy flesh color that they then traced white down on that thing. In fact, I was thinking, boy, those wings are done really simply. You could go wild. You could go full on Richard Gray on those wings if you wanted. Put some like eye patterns on them, like butterfly wings and stuff. You know.
Okay.
Like you could get weird.
Yeah,
you could get wild.
Weird. Okay, so
but they're rather simple there. It's good.
People are thinking maybe these are going to be like eels, which I think is nice. I like the idea that they're eels.
Sure.
There we go. Is that the same? No, that's a different cover.
I think that's the same image.
No,
isn't
it's not. That's new. I'm almost certain.
It's hard to tell with the red.
Because that's the Revenant.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. The last time I looked at the Sylvaneth Battle Tome, I mean, it was a while ago.
Everyone in the chat's saying it's the same.
Okay, there you go. I thought it was the same.
Oh no.
Yep, there you go. There he is.
It's more red.
It is more red. Yeah, they did color change it. Like they did actually like color tint it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not like why are they just recycling the art?
You know,
they didn't make much money last year.
Book
so
cover
just keeping it on the DL.
Book cover art is expensive and time consuming. I don't know. When you hit max level, stop. You know? I
mean, I don't agree
Is
with
this the greatest cover we could ever imagine for Sylvaneth? Is this peak Sylvaneth?
Not really. Well, I mean, what's interesting about this is like when you look at this, like it's just that's the Revenant. The Revenant now is the feature. So like I think sometimes they really they tell us what they think is going to be important with this release.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're like, look, is it the Revenant part of this? Maybe like the tree people are less. Maybe it's an aesthetic they're trying to move away from.
Sure.
In some ways, like the Colonel Hunters and your big Tree Lord Ancients.
I just think they're expanding the vocabulary of the range, which is fine.
Yeah, I agree. Like, and I think that's good because I think actually I was looking at the Daughters of Cain roster this morning just by happenstance, and I was like, actually, it doesn't have a lot of kits. Okay, we've got something else now.
Okay.
Let me just get you the audio. 1 second, chat.
Oh, see, told you.
These are our Ogroids. They got leaked.
Wow.
Okay. Nice. Very cool.
That's great. There's no way this was part of the original reveal.
0 chance. Oh, absolutely excellent.
Look at these boys.
Crush, Go, and Trample. Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
Okay,
so these are the guys. So if you guys aren't aware for some reason, the Slaves to Darkness book, which is Chaos and Chaos Warriors, has been leaked and is coming at the end of the year. We've already seen these models in lots of screenshots and leaks, but some of you may not have seen that yet. Obviously, because some people just don't live online, and so we're now seeing these in the flesh, or not in a blurry picture, and they look fantastic.
Oh my God, these guys look fantastic.
We even know what their profile
really good.
is. They got a 5. We're like, I know their stats.
Don't have to guess on this one. Yeah.
So that's super exciting because they're going to be. I think they look really great. They're basically Bulgor rules wise, but actually it's really nice to see because they've released a lot of Chaos stuff for Age of Sigmar over the past 4 to 5 years since the
I just want to say I really love that banner, by the way. That's super amazing.
Yeah,
whoever painted that, he did a great job. But yes, we've seen Chaos always gets the love, right?
But weirdly, while it's so if we ignore the demons, I more mean the kind of mortal element.
Got it.
Demons obviously loads and it's all excellent and all the mortal stuff for those god allegiances, but the undivided stuff. So
yes.
like either follow Bellicor or Archeon. We've seen lots. We've seen Cultists, we've seen the Myrmidon, we've seen the Fulmroy Crusher, we've seen the Sphinx, we've seen all that stuff, the Beasts of the Realms. But, I don't think they've necessarily pitched that well yet to us as an audience. I don't feel, anyway. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah.
And especially because I feel like the two core units which have been most important, Chaos Warriors and Chaos Knights, have never really been there. It's always been Marauders or something similar. So I've never really felt like, okay, that's the front line. The same way a Liberator is.
Yeah.
I haven't really felt that. And this is cool. I feel like this really gives me big Chaos vibes and something I can really bite the bullet on. But weirdly, is this not Beast of Chaos? What's going on here? What do you think?
No, look, they're Ogroids, because they're not actually miniatures. If you look, there is a significant difference here. They're built like the Ogroid Thaumatarch and the Ogroid Myrmidon, and there is actually some anatomical differences between those two, between, traditional minotaurs and these guys, right? They have created a new thing here, as it were, and I'm happy to see them continue expanding this. What I actually love about this is we've seen with a lot of that stuff you're talking about, they end up being singletons in your army. Right, like the Ogroid Myrmidon or the Thaumatarch, cool character, cool hero. We have seen the Thaumatarch show up in some armies recently.
Chaos Lord and Carcadrak's a good example. Great single piece.
Great single piece. But we don't have a Carcadrak, unit where we could have just a bunch of these guys rolling out, right? It's just the one dude on his one thing. So I like this as an expansion downward where you can have now the hero and the matching unit to go with them. So, yeah, and I mean, these guys, obviously, they're going to have the different builds between the Great Weapon or the Weapon and Shield, which we saw spoiled.
Yes, of course. In before, someone points out that that's a 3D print on the shield on the left. I can see the lines in the middle. But before we get the LOL Games Workshop using a 3D print, of course they do on pre-production stuff.
Yeah, of course they do. How else do you think they get this stuff to paint so early? Imagine how early you have to get this to painters to do this kind of work on it, right?
You slap that in a day, man.
Right, sure.
Literally a day.
Yeah. I mean, the heavy metal team's got to start working months ago to get this done and then get it photographed and get everything together.
Yeah,
but yeah, of course.
I mean, they're not that, their poses are quite different, but other than that, they're not that dynamically different, I don't feel.
No, I think that I like the accoutrement. I like that we have the standard bearer and musician option in there.
Okay.
I like the, I like their little loincloths. It's pretty standard chaos stuff. I like their buckles. We do have still a good amount of exposed flesh and muscle, which I enjoy. I like that. So, I like, as I said yesterday, and I stand behind.
Me too.
I like some shirtless muscle. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I get it. I want
to see them stacks.
Have you got the Masters of the Universe game? Have you picked it up?
I have not.
Are you going to? I feel like He-Man. Is He-Man not your jam?
I mean, it's okay. I like He-Man fine.
Okay, but not
I like that type of fantasy. He-Man, Thundercats, all those types of things represent a really important fantasy that is, hey, look, here's some fantasy, but also we have tanks and laser guns.
So Frank Frazetta sort of art.
And this is what I want.
Right.
That's what I love. That's my fantasy jam. I think these young whippersnappers today who grew up on the Lord of the Rings movie and thinks that's the only type of fantasy, elves and dwarves and that's it, Nah. When I was growing up, back in my day, Rob.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
We used to have dudes with
no one wore a shirt.
with nunchucks and then they'd fight a tank, and that made complete sense.
What's odd is your love for shirts versus your love for men without shirts.
Well, it goes both ways. You know, you gotta it's just the chestal region, I think.
Okay, just generally stuff around there. Okay,
Yeah.
that works. Okay, there's been some interesting stuff. After this, we will go and look at the Warhammer community side, but they've said they've actually featured some rules. So thanks to MJ Pegasus, who I know is a big fan of these things. Also, it's Aldem, actually. Big love to you. They've uploaded some descriptions of Sylvaneth unit abilities in Warcom already, and they're going to be support pieces. But we've got another reveal. Wow, they're fast.
Calls. With this sacred token, you are bound by oath to carry Sigmar's light and build a sanctuary against the darkness. There is no turning back now. The coin malice chose you, and by your deeds, or by your example, the Dawnbringer crusades will see your people triumphant.
Did I get it right? It's the Dawnbringers.
What does this mean?
My favourite comment in the chat was by...
Oh, so I think, like, taking the coin, we know where that phrase comes from. Do we need to explain to people in the chat?
Go for it.
Okay, so taking the King Shilling. Well, you're in the UK. This is perfect.
Yes.
Taking the King Shilling would be going to war. You would take the coin. It would be your like first month's pay ahead of time.
Sure.
And you sign on the dotted line, and off you go to war to fight in a line. And so they clearly have taken that kind of idea and have put that into joining the Dawnbringer Crusade,
Sure.
I assume, which might mean one of two things. Either we're going to get a Dawnbringer Crusade book, or they just want to sell 6 coins.
I think you're literally going to get the little coins.
It's just, okay.
I think this is just them talking about coins, Rob.
Okay, is this an NFT? Is it a
We're gonna get
Dawnbringer NFT?
You don't even really get the coins. You get an NFT of a picture of the coins.
Coin objectives.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So someone said that this is. I have not listened. We're not listening to them, obviously. So maybe it's just coin objectives. But I like the idea that they would tie it into a release. You said maybe we won't see Dawnbringer Crusade.
I'm telling you.
I think maybe we will. But because they featured it so heavily in the initial release, I feel like, my personal opinion, we were meant to get Stormcast, Ironjaws, and our next book was meant to be Dawnbringers.
I just think that in the end we're not going to see these guys, like the Dawnbringer, whatever's meant to come of that, for quite a while.
So they've just announced they're working on new Cities of Sigmar book and models.
So they're working on it.
So maybe it's not this. But
so my timeline would be correct.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Like next, you got to think next year. Like if they're working, so I mean, you were on the inside. You know how this goes. If you're working on a book now, the earliest that book is going to come out is 12 months from now.
Yeah. No,
if it's in process.
2 years maybe.
Sure. Like I'm saying the earliest. Like they have hustled, and you've
it's
seen
always so
rush
odd,
times.
The afternoon that they spend making it, like I'm like, what do they do in the time in between? Like,
well, it's a lot. Like there's a lot of process too. So imagine what it goes through, right? You got your initial design, development, then you've got your review, your playtesting, then you've got to go through an editing pass, you've got to go through a translation pass, because remember, it's got to get translated out into all the post-editing, it's got to get translated into all the other languages.
You don't do any of these things. What are you talking about?
You've got to get the art, you've got to do layout work. As somebody who publishes books, like there's a lot of stuff you do in between
I understand the way
finishing
that you
writing
would do
the rules.
it, but that's the way that they do it.
Well, I can't
Absolutely
speak to
different.
that. I can't
Okay,
speak to
all
that.
right, yeah, that is.
Is it just photo? Are they still
currently,
talking?
Yeah, it's still playing. Like,
Okay.
we'll listen.
We're just
hold
looking
on.
at a coin.
Sort of the equivalent of the God King shilling, right? To
Told you.
This is the most amazing unmute ever. The fact that you just nailed it on that exact thing that you made.
Yeah. So taking the coin. That's pretty important. You ever watched the TV show Sharp?
No, I never watched Sharp.
Okay, well they're always taking the King Shilling for that as well.
Okay.
Right. So anyway, yeah.
So, anyways, my point is, if they're working on the book now, here we sit in May, year of our Lord 2022. Then we're talking about like the earliest that you would see a new cities book. If that timeline is what they said in the stream, and obviously we're not listening to it when most of the time we're talking, but if that's what they said, then that would mean like the earliest would be like June, July of next year, like in line with the GHB, which would be fine. That'd be a good way to do it. Like that could be a fine time to launch it. That would make it probably one of the last books
I don't know if
of the edition.
What last? So next year.
No, last books, yeah, because last books of the, what I mean is like of catch up into 3rd edition for the books.
Okay, yeah.
Like it would put it on the back side of that, right? In your final copy.
I guess also, and there we go. We've seen some sculpts actually of some stuff that is about to.
Okay,
go
so
on.
we are definitely in early doors.
Yeah. Okay, so this is
this is not the summer book, folks.
This is actually really interesting because they also did this. I thought yesterday they kind of ran out of stuff, and they were like, "By the way, we're doing World Eaters in a couple of years, or in a year."
Sure.
Actually, this is really interesting because they've done the same for Sigmar. And I'm really excited about this because this really starts talking about, like, we're going to start talking about things further in advance. And sure, it's not all of the information and it's not a full roadmap, but I thought the leaks that happened recently were excellent because we actually got a consistent roadmap of some degree. People had some ideas. Like, and I think that they're really positive from a consumer and also for the company. They don't see that.
This is the kind of thing they should have been doing for a long time. I'm really surprised they didn't learn the lesson of the Sisters of Battle because they did the same thing with Sisters with these design diaries, right? And this is great. Like, obviously, this is just early concepting and rendering, right? So that's what we're looking at here. None of these are like real models that exist somewhere. These are all just renders, right? And what they're trying to show us is some of the aesthetics they're experimenting with, trying to figure out as they go forward in making a new line. And that really excites me, Rob. I'd love, like, Cities coming on the backside, whatever it's going to be, Dawnbringer Crusade, Cities 2, Electric Boogaloo, I don't care, right? Whatever it is, I've been really crying out that it's time to resculpt a lot of that range. Like, it just is.
I think what's awkward for them is with the announcement of Old World.
Sure.
And then the integration of the two is where they're going to draw the line. But also, it's been 6 years for Age of Sigmar, and it would be good to actually have the humans of the mortal realms more identified than just weird leftovers and holdovers.
Exactly. This is my point. I want us to get into like what does the what. By the way, we've seen lots of good art that shows what these people look like and everything cool in Soulbound, in the role playing game. Because the RPG was forced to get down to the city level because that's where the heroes are, where they live, where they meet NPCs, where they talk to people. They were forced to actually show you through that art of that book what this looks like at the ground level. But we just don't have any miniatures to match that. And I think thinking about the old world coming, they know they've got to do this because they want differentiation.
Yeah, of course.
They want they want to be able to have you walk into a shop and go, okay, this stuff belongs all together, and it's the old world, and it hangs together. This stuff belongs to Age of Sigmar. It has the I know this is all Age of Sigmar. The same way if I looked in, I don't need the little things on the shelf or the colored boxes to know this is the 40K stuff versus this the AOS stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah. So just if you just joined us, by the way, we're looking at the reveals today for Age of Sigmar is what we're currently discussing, and this looks like it's going to be an upcoming Cities of Sigmar book or even the Dawnbringer Crusade stuff. Which, if you guys aren't aware, at the beginning of Age of Sigmar 3, we got the Dawnbringer Crusades were announced, which aren't problematic at all, but that's fine, and not an issue. And
well, they didn't have the Crusades in their world. This is a nice crusade.
Sure, yeah. There's zero word. There's zero intent applied there to that wordage. But either way, like we're seeing that, which I'm actually very excited about because actually it'll be really cool to see what the humans in the mortal realms are up to. Even to the point of like I don't hate the idea of terrain kits, right? Like,
sure, yeah.
Where we end up seeing like a merchant stall or whatever. I thought about this a lot with the Celeste release, which obviously I know you're a huge fan of. I mean, I know you're a fan of all the releases.
Yes.
But I think that was particularly good because, like, I really got the idea that there was like a lot more mercantile nature. They looked fairly mercantile as well. They did look like they were from some sort of like Eastern European bazaar.
Yep.
But then I was like, well, who makes a cloth? Who puts all that together? Like this, it's not a demon where everything was pulled apart.
Right.
They were very structured in their organization, and I was like, I really want to see where this stuff comes from.
Yeah.
I really want to see those places, and I think that would be really fun. Even if it only ever comes out in art, I think it would be so fun to explore those elements from like a narrative perspective, and also for these guys as designers. Those are definitely going to be coins you can buy.
Yeah, it's just going to be coins you can buy.
It's just going to be coins you can buy.
Which is cool. Fun. That's fun.
It's not fun. It's not. I don't care. Don't spend 15 minutes telling me about a coin.
No,
like,
that's obviously ridiculous. It's just been like, here's some coins. You can buy them. They could be fun objective markers. Be like, oh, that's cool.
The markup must be insane, though. Like, they must like going to the pitch meeting. Like, okay, we've got the book, which is pennies and is 30 quid.
Yeah,
We've got so markup's crazy. Pitch that. Obviously, that sells you minis as well. Markup's insane. That's great. Here we go. General's Handbook, Trog Edition.
Trog Edition, yeah.
Trog Edition.
Wait, what is 2022-2023 season 1? Hold on, we need to unmute this part. I want to hear what this means.
No, this is 6 months.
This will set out the match play scene effectively for the next 6 months plus of Age of Sigmar, and it contains the sort of stuff you'd expect it to contain. So there's some themes that are worth exploring. So the first one is that this has got a lot of battle plans in. There are 12 battle plans in here. 6 of them are relatively generic battle plans that you can use however you want, and then 6 of them are themed very much to the setting of this particular General's Handbook, which is still set within the realm of beasts, but in a different location within the realm of beasts.
We're staying in beasts.
The last few months we've been we've been in a place which is full of monsters and large beasts. So if you've been playing competitive match play for Age of Sigmar, you'll know that you had lots of things that either gave you bonuses against monsters or made your monsters better, or if you had a spell, you could literally turn yourself into a monster.
Sure.
The next season of Warhammer Age of Sigmar is much more focused on battle line infantry. So if you've got a force which is very heavily dependent on things your basic troopers, you want big blocks of units. There'll be lots of things that give your guys bonuses.
The idea is that these meta troops confirmed.
Okay, so a couple of things to break down. First, 6-month season passes.
Not happy about it. Pass. Hard pass.
Hot pass.
Why does it say 2022, 2023 if it's season 1? Then it's just the rest of 2022. You're lying to me.
It's just 6 months. It's just 6 months. Interestingly, I'm kind of interested about it. Like, the problem is, and we've talked about this a lot off air, and also I know that we've got different thoughts on this. But there's a very small group of people, and I mean in the hundreds. Yeah. Who are super excited about a 6-month refresh because they'll be able to grab that stuff, learn it, play loads, have loads of fun.
Yes.
They'll play multiple tournaments in a 6-month edition.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they'll have a wonderful time.
Oh yeah.
Right. But that is a very small...
For those people, which you're right, it is a small group. But we shouldn't say there's not nobody.
No, it's not nobody.
There is a group of people here who, for that kind of a season, they're going to be like, this is what I've always wanted. This is perfect. This is going to give me a rotating, competitive environment. Here's where I'm okay with it, Rob. For most of us, I know exactly where you're going. For most of us, that is insanely fast. But hold on. Let's back up here, okay? Let me pitch. We're gonna try to find the positive here, okay? All right.
There's none.
All right. Well, hold on now.
Okay.
Just let me. Okay. What is this really? This is somebody realized they got to stop giving points away for free in December.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Half the tell me you're a manager, you're an executive at a company.
Yeah.
And somebody comes and you're getting an update from your people who work for you, right? And they say, okay, here's this thing we do. Now, we do it twice a year. Now, when we do it this time, we charge people for it.
Yes.
And people pay money for it. When we do it this other time, we just give it away for free.
Yeah. We should pay. We should make people pay.
There is no executive in the universe of currently existing capitalism that would look at that and go, why don't we make them both free? No, there's only one direction that it's going to ever turn, buddy. Mm-hmm. So this is how do we monetize the December FAQ points adjustment big release.
So there's a couple of things I got to say about this, and none of them are kind. Not towards you, obviously, to the process. Is obviously we already see this example in 40k, and I know you keep eye on 40k, especially to watch your boy Tom Layton.
He is. Tom's my boy.
Tom's your boy.
He really is.
I get that. So you
I take all of my 40k opinions from Tom Layton.
Perfect. Right. Exactly the one to do. But we have that already, right? Like we have that in 40k. Generally, it isn't a positive. Mm-hmm. And also, what's really, really problematic is I would actually be. So you've got me. I don't think you've got me on the fence because if we're talking for the largest portion of Age of Sigmar people, this is too fast. Yeah. Already knowing that there's some other stuff out there, but like that's my opinion on it.
I understand. There could be another way this goes.
Yeah.
Okay. which is if the GHB comes out, first of all, the points should just be free. Okay? Like, what if they just detach the points from this process completely, and they just do the points updates as part of, like once every 6 months?
Well, okay? so the 40k points are now going to be free online.
Which is good.
Yep.
That tells me they're actually thinking about moving in that. Oh, there you go. Points are free online. They just said, okay, thank you, Chuckle Bunny. We couldn't hear them. So, good. Okay, that's good. This is a step in the right direction. So, points are free both times, right? Then I'm so glad to hear they're doing this, because here's the thing. You could construct a really nice season out of this that isn't onerous. Here's how you do it. You set up the GHB, and I think this is what they're going to aim at. And you say, okay, here's the 2022-2023 GHB. It's still a year. And in the first one, we're going to have some rules. We're going to have a battle pack. It's going to be your sort of overarching battle pack. Here's your 12 scenarios. Here's the rules for the battle pack for this season. Okay?
Let's watch this.
Oh,
and we'll come back to this conversation after.
Uncommonly tall for a Dwardin. An adventurer, an engineer, a wit, and a self-proclaimed genius. Trekkie Flint, captain of the Ailsling, known throughout the sky shoals of Acromia. Say his name and make half a tavern starry-eyed, while the other half mutters about how much money he owes them.
A soul-blight vampire who accepted the curse as his people and kingdom fell to chaos.
What are we watching?
He now roams the
What
realm
is this?
of death and beyond. Kado Azia, a wanderer who has outlived the
No, I don't think
memory
that's what
of
this
the
is. What are we
age that
watching?
made him, seeking retribution and salvation.
I mean, first of all, that's a super cool model.
Super cool model.
Oh, okay. They're Black Library people.
Okay.
Something quite...
Okay, they're Black Library people. And then everyone's like, Black Library makes Age of Sigmar stuff? Like, what the hell?
Okay, that's cool.
News to me.
Neat models. That's cool. Yeah, some cool new Black Library models. Yeah, I like that guy.
Age of Sigmar has such a disparate bunch of models from all over the place. You're like,
absolutely.
That's from Warcry. That's from Black Library. You're like, where is this
You got an
from?
Underworlds model hanging out over here. Yeah. We got this rando. No, this is great. I love this dude. I like to see. I remember, Darren Latham did a Golden Demon entry in AOS 2018 Golden Demon that was a converted Caradron Overlord without a helmet. He actually had, I believe, Seb sculpt him a custom head for KO, and he entered it in the open competition. I think he took gold with that. And it was a beautiful model, and I really loved the look of KO without helmets. We got a little more of a taste of that in Curse City with the guy, because he's got kind of an open head. And I think KO looks super cool without helmets on. Look at this dude. What a great beard.
Yeah. He fits into the aesthetic a lot more. Which
he really does.
Excellent. Yeah, okay, so we're getting a book
by
cool. Guy Haley. Lovely.
Nice.
Okay, guy's a nice guy. That's lovely. All right, okay, so back to
this. Okay, so here's how we do this and don't make it terrible, okay? The Season 2 expansion. So you've got your 2022-2023, Season 1 and Season 2. They come on the 6 months, all right? We use these books to do the significant adjustments that we want to do, maybe. But that is to say, like, to introduce interesting new content, but that remains not necessary. Okay? Like, imagine if in Season 2, we introduce another battle pack. Like, the battle pack technology is really interesting because it's modular.
Because it's a season pass. For people at home, are like, what does that mean? It's a season pass like you would get for a computer game.
Right. So if the battle pack in the core GHB is like, that all extends, okay? This is what we're playing for the next year. And then if in the Season 2 book, they go, also, here's a different battle pack you can use, but maybe it's more narrative, or maybe it explores a different way, or plays with some wacky different rules. But it's sort of not really tuned to be the kind of match play one. It's more like what we got in Thondia, which I think was a brilliant battle pack, because no tournament's really going to use it unless they're a narrative tournament, which is exactly what you want. So that means the majority of people who are just going to go, that people will play it at their home if they want to, but they're not going to need to know it to go out to speak the common language, right? That's still the GHB battle pack. So if they do the right stuff in these, where they don't force the change every 6 months, but they expand the options without the necessity, it could be really positive. So it's all about what they put in there.
Okay, and that's the key point for me, because actually if we take... So I think it's fair to say that 40k is larger than Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Significantly so. And the thing that you'd be motivated by, because it's the same system of people, although it's different, obviously, like actual designers, create the system for releasing this. Obviously, they've done this with 40k already, and now they've moved into Age of Sigmar. With 40k, the quality is absolutely in the bin.
Yeah.
Like, it's just copy and paste in some situations.
Sure.
There's no real changes. This new 40k one that they're doing has effectively, invalidated a bunch of rules that you got in your old books. The secondaries that you could take are now all gone out of your book, and they're now in this book that you kind of have to buy. I think ultimately, paying to play every 6 months at an exorbitant price would be okay. Don't shoot me, chat. Don't shoot me. Would be okay if the quality was okay. What have you done for £30 every 6 months?
Yeah, sure.
Like, what amazing stuff am I going to get out of this? But we both know, and we'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but when it comes back to, we'll come back to this conversation.
Yep.
We both know it's going to be the same, pretty much. Yeah, like, I mean, how this, like, the battle plans for 3 are just the battle plans from 2 with different names in some situations.
Look,
right?
My point is, there is a world, okay, where this is good design. It's not as my point is simply to say.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I'm saying that they don't put anything into the process.
Right.
The process.
We have to see the process actually work and provide with both the right mix of options but not necessities. Okay? And if we can hit that in the right balance, then this is a perfectly good way to operate, right? It's not as though, like, from the jump, selling 2 books per year that are construed as seasons is just like a rotten idea to the core, right? My point is, it's not as though, look, I understand we all want new stuff and yet don't want new stuff. It's the perpetual cycle we live in. That as wargamers, there's 2 things we hate: change and the way things are. Okay.
I see, but the thing is again, like, talking.
It's execution.
Execution will be poor, is my point. And the thing is, is what I'm most interested in. Again, like, for me, that 6-month cycle is really excellent on 2 fronts. One, I feel it makes more engaging games when I go do live coverage.
Sure.
And also gives me more content to talk about. So it's actually a huge benefit to me.
Sure.
Yeah, on a personal level. But I think for a huge swath of people, like, it's like, there's more stuff I don't know. Like, and also, and I tweeted about this a couple of days ago, and I'm sure you saw it. I said, like, there should be a year-long roadmap, because armies take a phenomenally long amount of time to produce and put on the tabletop. And when the goalposts get moved so quickly and so poorly, like, that becomes a real issue in my mind.
Gotcha.
For the general population. Like, and that's all it is. Like,
no, it's always good to keep an eye to the casual person, right? By the way, this vampire is amazing. I just want to, like, I know he's up on screen. We're not talking about
all of the vampires they've done have been great.
Yeah, like, this dude looks awesome. I really, really like this guy. And again, look at the paint style of this is using true metals, but what a different paint style they've executed here.
Yeah.
This very, like, worn, battered, like, brown metal. I don't know of another model I've seen painted like this, right?
So this, because again, this is not my area of expertise. Like, you think that there's a lot more, like, painting design gone into this.
Yeah. I really do. Yeah.
Interesting.
Absolutely. So anyways, back to the GHB talk. Here's what I'm saying. I'm not willing to write it off yet. I don't agree with you. Time will be the judge, right? History will be the ultimate judge of who of us is right and who of us is
because I don't think we're disagreeing.
Wrong.
I think we both agree that the process is good.
Yes.
Yeah, right? I don't think we're disagreeing at all. I just said that based on the current quality that we've seen for a much larger game system, 40k, and based on the quality of work that we've seen done from them in other areas through AOS 3, which I think has been a great addition.
See, I'm hopeful for that same reason. The AOS 3 books have been banger after banger.
But they're not going to do Age of Sigmar community times £30 worth of dev every 6 months. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you ask, because we went through the same process on the 40k show when they did it for the 40k.
Sure.
I said, what are you going to do for an additional £30 every year?
Yeah.
Like, and if you're like, I'm going to make it sing and dance and do it, I'm like, cool. Like,
we could get there. There is a way to do it. I'm going to hold out hope, Rob.
Yeah. Me too. I would like it
in a way that I think could be good for casuals.
Yeah. Because listen, when they put out season 3,
look, the little Deathmaster guy. That's not what he called him before. It's the same dude, but he's not the Deathmaster.
He was the Deathmaster before.
No, but his name was like Death something of something something.
Oh, okay. Listen, when season 3 of The Boys come out,
June 3rd.
Yeah, but if they were just like, you have to pay for this now, you're going to pay for it because you're excited.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because I would expect it to be quality.
Yeah, but if season 3 of Love Island comes out,
I'm not paying for it.
That's what I'm trying to say. The process is not a problem. Yeah, the quality of the process is the problem.
I get it. It. Oh, are we just doing the wrap up? We're doing the look back.
We're doing the look up, which is now odds on. I'm feeling. By the way, great guess on the 3 books. I'm feeling that we're going to get the animation. This is where we should be getting the animation.
Okay. We leave on the animation. I really love those. I really like the 2 Sylvaneth units. I gotta say,
they were good.
Like, I've got a Sylvaneth army. Might be time to pick up some of these units and crack it back out again.
Oh, really?
The problem will be, how much do I need to care about stupid trees? That's why I shelved my Sylvaneth.
These are the winners for me.
These guys are great.
These are the standout for me. I've always been a Chaos fanboy at heart.
Sure.
And having.
I mean, I have every Chaos army.
Okay. Well, excellent. Yeah. Like
I even have a Nurgle army now somehow. Accidentally.
I just don't have a Sinesh army, so.
You're missing the best one.
That's the
then.
only one I don't have.
Well, you're missing the second best one.
Okay, which is the best Skaven. Of course,
correct.
Of course. But these would tempt me. These would tempt me to rock into some Slaves to Darkness, because there's some phenomenal units in there and phenomenal. You could do a phenomenal army out of it, I think, which would be really fun.
Yeah. So here's the question, Rob. Are you ready? Okay. We only saw the one Skaven that is clearly the hero in the FOMO box. Okay. So here is my question for you. Obviously, we're getting these 2 books. Do we have more Skaven stuff coming that we didn't see here?
No.
Okay. Now, you say that. But keep in mind, we didn't see the Boatman until very late.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
They sat on the Boatman for a while. Clearly, what we saw here is what's going to be in the FOMO box, which is probably going to be announced, relatively soon. That's why they're showing it. Oh, okay.
No, I thought we were going to get. No, we're getting more preview.
Just more stuff. Okay.
More preview. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, right on. Yep. So, I will continue. First of all, I'm glad we did see more than just the 2 heroes. That we were getting basically, what is that? 4 units. 4 units, 3 kits.
3 kits. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. For Sylvaneth. So that's awesome. Super stoked about that. I'm gonna hold out hope that we're gonna get some more Skaven stuff somewhere, and they're sitting on it.
Okay.
Okay. They wanna let the box go first. Whatever units come in the box for Skaven, those aren't getting redone.
Okay.
So when we look at the FOMO box, we'll know. Okay, those aren't being redone. Right.
Yeah. Personally, I don't think we see more Skaven this year. I would like to. Listen, I'm on the page I weekly.
I understand.
We'd like to. I just don't think that that's where their thoughts are at the minute in releases, because especially the cover art really makes me feel that way as well. Like the Daughters of Cain book feels like it's going to be pretty copy paste, to be honest. I feel like that they're easy wins financially, and also like we talked about one of the things I would like to disavow us of as a community and as a group in some ways is it's nice they're doing another GHB if you're so inclined, but ultimately there's a P&L sheet where they're like, another £30 a year is great for us.
Sure.
Yeah. And I hate the idea that we're just getting something. Like when you do get copy and paste books, which I think we will see a couple of times this year because they're just going through the motions of getting them out. I think
again,
in some cases,
which could be, and in some cases, I'm okay with that as long as they do the necessary tweaks of the parts they're wrong. There are some existing books from 2.0 we have that are just really good books. They're like 80% there.
Yeah, there's some great books.
So copy paste
books.
that 80%. I don't care. Just fix the other 20, and I'm happy and move everything 3.0. And job's good, and I'm excited.
I don't think I should pay them full whack for an update.
I understand the nature of the world. I get it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a full whack for an update. Yeah. Because especially because as Games Workshop's grown, but also Warhammer Age of Sigmar 40k have grown to such a significant degree, which is excellent. Super excited about that for them and for the company and for the hobby, and also the IP. I'm excited for all of those things and the people involved in it.
Yeah.
But I think when you are making money hand over fist, that should go into dev. Like that should go into improving stuff and being like, oh look, we've really thought this through. Like this is a new iterative version of like this, or we're doing something new, not just an update. Because in a computer game, you would get your brand new levels, you would do your whole thing,
which I'm good with. And by the way, I think that that's where I want to see that exploration in stuff like the Season of War books.
Oh, me too. By the way, I want to see.
And I want to see them put the effort into the armies that need complete rewrites. Okay, Slaanesh. One of the reasons I don't think that book is coming anytime soon is because you got to start by taking that entire existing book and throwing it in the bin. Okay.
Yeah.
Like it is unusable in its current form. Like you got to bin every page.
Shalaxi. I can't handle Shalaxi. Shalaxi's
Right.
one of my favorite miniatures ever made by Games Workshop.
So cool.
So incredibly cool. And the fact that her spear is one attack.
I love that. Like
breaks my heart.
Yes.
Right. It breaks my heart. Like if you want, I'll stand outside with a sign every day. Like just every day.
Where is Shalaxi's other attack? By the way, I love how okay. You got a Stormcast person. How many swords are they holding? They've got a sword in their hand. How many swords are they holding?
Yeah, one.
One. How many attacks does that weapon have? 5.
Yeah,
right.
Because
standard. Yeah. Well, a standard Stormcast hero now is like 5 attacks, 3 threes, neg 1, 2.
Yeah.
Okay,
true.
that's the Stormcast Lord profile, right? You got a giant. He's got a big giant club. He's got one club in his hands. Makes 10 attacks with it, right? But they looked at the entire Slaanesh range and were like, 2 claws, 2 attacks, 1 stick, 1 attack, and just direct translation for no reason.
Yeah, it's
none.
It was one of my favorite tomes.
But anyways,
it's rubbish.
It's complete rubbish, top to bottom. So my point is that they've got to take that book back to formula. So okay, cool. Take longer on that one, right? Do the work to give me a Nurgle style reinvention.
And this is where we agree on the process being amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't agree. That's the only thing. Because I've had this conversation about 40k, just going to the GHP, and that's it. Very excited about the Sylvaneth book. I'm a Sylvaneth player. Some people say I'm the original Sylvaneth player, but whatever. Yeah, very excited about Sylvaneth.
You were in the video.
I was in the video. Yeah, and so big fan of Sylvaneth. Big fan. Big fan of Skaven as well.
Sure.
And like we talked about straight at the top of the show, I like the Skaven book massively. Just need some tweaks, and I think it's good. Yeah. But if I'm giving them that much money for a book, yeah, I want you to make me want to buy it.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Because and that's what streaming has done, and piracy, and a bunch of stuff over the past 15 years. We as consumers, because £30 is a lot of money, which could be a set of miniatures. And ultimately, when I know that book goes out of date in 6 months,
yep.
And I know that miniature doesn't go out of date. Well, eventually it'll go out of date, but it doesn't go out of date for a long time. I'm asking myself where my resources are going. So you have to it's a sale. It's a sale. You're a salesman. It's not default. I'm not buying it by default.
I totally get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. My point is that I don't need you to reinvent the wheel when it comes to the books that were really well done.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't want them to throw all of the good rules and the good play and the nice design. Don't throw that in the bin.
I agree, yeah.
Okay? Keep all of that, but focus in on really making it a unique experience. For those good books, they should be focusing on making them really great books.
Yes.
Right? Because when you're starting from such a place... Yeah, we're going to jump over to the website?
I'm going to try and find this article, yeah.
Okay. When we're starting from such a good place where the army is already pretty strong,
yeah,
and the book is already very well designed, right? Which that exists. The current Slaves to Darkness, I would argue, is one of those books.
Yeah.
Okay?
What do you think? What's the statement about the Slaves to Darkness book?
Is that it was a good book. Not a great book, but a good book.
Okay book, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It had a lot of good ideas in it. There were stuff that was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Nope. That's not... I didn't say it was a perfect book. Let's not... Please don't mishear me. Okay?
That's why I asked.
Your point about Chaos Warriors and Chaos Knights would be my number one thing on the list. The iron wall that is the center of Chaos has basically been invisible for most of this.
But they should
book's
also be
history.
deadly.
Yes.
I don't understand it. Why am I not running in fear of 10 Chaos Warriors?
Absolutely. No, I get it. But because we've got our own super. Your Chaos Warriors are old stuff. We forged our own warriors out of lightning that are much better now.
What do Chaos have? What do I run in fear from Chaos?
I don't know, Varangard, I guess?
10 gribbly pink idiots.
that causes me to run in terror. So, but my point is that it was a good book, okay? So, fantastic. When it's good, then we can take the time to make it great.
Yeah.
Because we only should need to focus in on the 30% that was a miss. Identify the misses well, and then calibrate accordingly and give us a great book, right? Okay, take the Skaven book. I don't need much change to the Doom Wheel. Literally. It's got some good rules. I would want to see a little more damage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it doesn't quite do enough. It needs a little more damage in its actual, kind of melee and especially attacks, because that's often where, or maybe it's shooting attacks, maybe a little bit more here or there. And I would want to see the risk-reward rule on the reroll your move changed because the logical risk reward is to always overcharge the shooting and never reroll your move. Because it's just your statistical chance of getting a 1 on any of 4 dice is about 50%.
I've rerolled that move and had the best time.
I understand.
Like, and I've seen it done. I saw it like 2 weeks ago. The Rat Bros came and played here, and one of them was running his Doom Wheels, and he re-rolled it, and it's the riskiest. His face.
Yes, because it's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah,
very
and
nearly.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
Like that should be what games are. Games should have that pure adrenaline rush on the dice roll. It should be a junkie moment, which is I think Skaven do super well.
Right.
And I think other books do badly.
I'm just saying you need to turn those odds down. It should be if you roll 2 1s, they get to move it. See, it's that little, Rob.
Yeah.
That slight change in probability would actually make that rule still super tense, but it would statistically knock it down to where it's at the right layer where a logical person takes the risk reward.
I don't want that.
It's not safety. There's always risk.
Okay.
Right? That's the same thing like overcharging your rattling guns, right? Where it's like if you roll doubles. Okay, well your doubles are about a 16% chance. That's your chance. Every time you overcharge that, there's a 16% chance you blow that thing up.
That's perfect.
And that's great. That's where you want it because everybody's going to do that every time, and then you're going to get like, oh no, boom. And that's what's going to happen. If you make it, we learned this, if you make 50-50 risk rewards, where on the downside you basically lose the unit, and on the upside you get some small bonus, no one does it. People stop using the fun rules.
That's true.
You've got to tune those risk rewards so that everybody always wants to do it every time. Everybody always takes the risk. So that way the army starts feeling like it should.
Yeah.
Right? Because people are just always doing the risky thing. The majority of people, right? Because everybody has a different risk tolerance. But then the majority of people are doing it, and then the army feels like it should. All right. Let's talk about what do we got here? What's on this? What's on this?
Catch up. Okay, so the General's Handbook also includes Pitch Battlefield Profiles booklet featuring updated points and other battlefield notes. Now, I know you're asking yourself, but they said the points are going online free, and it's because, and this is super important, the decision to put the points online for free has come after they sent this book to date, which would have been over a year ago. So when you think, okay, how did they balance the game? They did it based on information from over a year ago.
Yeah, sure.
So that's why it's always terrible. The more realms are more accessible, more than...
But can we just take a moment? I want to say, I can't, I literally just went on a rant saying there's no way they're not going to charge for points. And then at the same time I was speaking, they were like, no, all points are free. They made the right choice.
They did. I think it's because, you're right. They've made the right choice.
Can we just unmitigatedly say they did the right thing?
You sure? Yeah.
I don't care why they did it. I don't care what happened. It is the correct choice, and I'm glad about it.
It's like when I get caught with my hands in the cookie jar, and someone's like, are you stealing cookies? I'm like, I am stealing. I made the right choice to fess up in that moment. Like, some would say that it's after the fact, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
This volume is no different, but while the updated profiles are still included in the book, they'll also be available for free on the Warhammer Sigmar app, where they are currently already free. So are they pitching the thing that already exists?
I mean, kind of, but they're saying that, we're going to push the updates there. Yes, you'll have all the points. Yes, those are not going to be behind a paywall. That's what they're confirming, because that had been a thing that people were afraid of recently.
Okay, all right. So more realms are more accessible than ever, but that's not all. Catch up with the rest of today's reveals. Oh, no, that's it. Okay, so basically the website, as you can see, because they want to get their P&L as high as possible.
Oh my gosh, this separate click thing, so we have to...
Baby, the guy who's in charge of getting the most clicks to this website,
this is so funny.
End of the month, he's like, I smashed it this month. I've done so much extra good work.
This, to me, is hilarious, the moving everything to separate articles. So they get more clicks. So I do a lot of work in my normal job with data analytics, okay? And we talk a lot about, you can't improve what you don't measure, but there's a dark side to that, too, that's a double-edged sword. So the statement is you can't improve what you don't measure, but you will do what you do measure, so make sure you're measuring the right things, right? And this is the best example of that dark side I've ever seen in play.
It should only ever be how many of the visitors buy a thing.
Right.
Should be the only metric they look at, but that isn't obviously what they're basing it on. So we've got the GHB one, and it's got a trog on the front, so we've seen that. Okay, the thing to talk about really quickly that we did hear them say is that it's going to be all about battle line units. So just for everyone at home who might not be aware, the current edition of Age of Sigmar
Horde meta
is about monsters.
Yes.
It's all about monsters. It's about it's not actually about monsters. We can get into the nitty-gritty about that. Actually, the fact that it's monsters actually does zero.
It doesn't matter. The game right now is encouraging you to have large elite monsters or monster heroes. And elite type of units. That is the current sort of incentive.
It's an incentive, but I don't think it like.
That's how it plays out is
happens.
often different, but that is the current incentive.
Yeah. But the next incentive is going to be we will give you something for your battle line units, or if your battle line units will do a thing. There's a problem in that though. All battle lines are not created equal.
This is definitely true.
This is definitely true. So it'll be really fun to see if it's battle line, if.
Sure. Yeah. Like, my guess is if you've inherited the battle line role for any reason is probably what it's going to do, which will be interesting how much effect that has. They also mentioned you're going to want to have big units. So my guess, Rob, is we're not just going to see it based on, like, battle line or battle line if, because that doesn't do a lot. Mm-hmm. When I can take my Dracothian Guard, when I can take my Fulminators, right, I haven't changed anything about the nature of the game. And what's up, 52 Miniatures? Good to see you, buddy. And, but if they say, imagine if to get the bonus points, you've got to be a reinforced unit or a double reinforced unit or something like that, right? Now, all of a sudden, we're encouraging little weedy dudes. Because in general, you don't take like 6 packs of Fulminators.
You don't.
Right? That's not a winning strat. Okay. But you might take 30 Witch Elves.
Yeah, and like you said before, and like we just talked about with the monsters, it's all about whether or not they actually incentivize you enough. Risk versus reward in that situation.
Yes.
So that'll be exciting to see. Not exciting to see hordes actually be super important because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, painting hordes is a torturous experience. For
Sometimes.
Everyone. I feel like it's unless you love it. Yeah.
I painted 70 Daemonettes and it was wonderful. I had a very pleasurable experience.
Don't you have like 250 interviews with artists about painting?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say you're fairly on the painting?
I didn't say I'm the metric to judge by. I have 150 clan rats. I don't know what to tell you, man.
But like, yeah, so we're looking forward to see, and maybe we'll see some units tick up, which previously we don't see on the tabletop. Because the thing I'm excited about, and I will always be pro this, I like what they're doing with the GHBs, specifically the monsters and the horde thing, even if it doesn't necessarily work out. I like that they're intentionally creating diversification. So
yes,
I buy
agreed.
one book, whatever that book might be. Let's pick Tzeentch. Yeah,
sure.
I've got some monsters, not that they're very good, more or less Vortex Beast, you poor thing. But like, I've got Tzeentch and I can run monsters. Then next year I can be like, cool, I'm going to run Zangor. Like, I'm going to run Zangor. I'm going to run Skyrack. Like, it's not that I'm ever going to run them anyway. But like, you know, there's all Pink Horrors. But like, it gives me the option to diversify inside my own book, which I think is really exciting. Because especially for this edition, we went into it and you were like, well, the army doesn't have a monster.
Right.
Like, you know, we're just about to get Nighthaunt. They don't have a monster, really.
Right.
Like, unless Morgul gets an update, which would be really cool to see.
Well, that, or if they take the new Incarnate guy, which I hate, and that's a whole different thing. The Incarnate was the worst part of Thondia.
Oh, the Incarnate is the worst part of Warhammer Age of Sigmar at the moment.
I think that's
not played against.
I think that's probably true.
It sucks. But I'm looking forward to seeing that because that gives people who play some ability to like just diversify their army and playstyle, which I think is cool. And also from a skill perspective as well, you guys might not be aware that this is something I'm super keen on, but I really like skill expression, the ability to play well, and that doesn't mean being a power gamer, which is a dumb statement made by dumb people. Like, I like the idea, like, that's idiots. If you're like, I could say that about black bases, I could say that about people who say the word power gamer. But the idea of being able to express skill is really important because...
No, when I say I'm a power gamer, I mean like the 1990s Nintendo ads where the dude put on the power glove, because that's how I play Warhammer. I put on the power glove. I'm like, let's do this. Let's hack.
But also some people jump between the same army but different styles. So let's say you play Mega Gargants.
Sure.
Because you previously played all Flesh Eater Corpse Dragons.
Sure.
And then you play Triple Maw Crusher.
And
you're like, dude, you're just doing the same thing all over. Like, if you encourage people to change their skill sets, I know that I always build castle armies, and it'll be really fun to see if I can do that again. But also, like, I've tried really hard. Like, Darren's taken a list of worlds, for example. He played here a couple of weeks ago. And I know that's stylistically very different. Like, Owen, I know, for example, who I think I'm seeing this weekend, he was running Nagash for, like, 15 tournaments.
The Owen Jackson?
Yeah, during 15, like, Age of Sigmar tournaments. But now he's actually running a more MSU army. And that requires different skill sets to play. And I think that's really good. Because if you accidentally encourage the casual base to just be like, 30 dudes is actually really difficult to move around. You're like, cool, that's really fun. I would like to see 2-inch coherency there. Not 2-inch coherency. I'd like to see coherency changes in the GHB if we're going for hordes.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I agree. I mean, we could make some coherency a lot better with, like, one change. Like I could like with this Sharpie, I could fix probably like a fair amount of the coherency challenges in the game.
I agree.
Not all, but like I would take this Sharpie and where there's the number 5 in there of units of like less than 5 use old good style coherency, I would just come in with a Sharpie and like and just make that a 6
or 11.
And sure, so like I've got there are like average versions of this up to good versions of this, right? The like bare min changes, I change that 5 to a 6. I just kind of like Trump on the hurricane map it, put that little squiggle in there.
What I really enjoy is the game designers, like, they go and play, like, they're like, oh, the 40k boys, like, do you fancy a quick game of 40k? Like, all right, cool, yeah. And they're like, oh, I've got some guys in second rank I can't fight. They're like, oh, no, in 40k, you can just fight if the other guy's close enough. They're
yeah,
like,
I mean, we're never going to do that because then they'll have to arrange. Like, look, that will never happen.
Sit next to each other.
Nope.
How can that not cross over?
Because there are 1,100 war scrolls with ranges written on them. And nobody's writing 1,100 war scrolls. You got to stop. You know this.
Oh my god! They can
So
just
no,
hire
that will
an
never
intern
happen.
for a week.
Nope, never
Like,
going to happen.
You can probably get it done on Fiverr for like 30 quid.
That might be, but it's not going to happen. So we're sticking with the ranges. But yes, moving it to 6 or 11 for coherency would be the good fix.
Okay.
And
yeah,
that would
I
make
agree.
our lives a lot better.
That would be fun.
Honestly, with like 30 dudes, you don't actually generally worry. I find coherency, like the current coherency style, I find it pretty like nothing when I have 30 packs. It's like I've run several hordes, and the trick is you've just got so many people, and if you actually play in a sort of cloud-y way, where you've kind of got a cloud, you're always in coherency. It's not an issue.
Yeah, agreed. I think also one of the things that they also do, which I think is super important, is they created the coherency issue to deal with a problem that maybe existed, maybe didn't exist, and it still exists right now. Now, I'm like every list. If you guys don't know, every Monday I go through all of the event results from Age of Sigmar tournaments around the world on the AOS Stat Center. That's what I do every time. And one of the things that I see all the time now is just like a cavalry base, 5 cavalry bases in a line for 100 points.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
yes.
And I'm like, and I
5 cav just became the chaff.
and just in a line.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and
like
I'm
they're pulling up at a taxi stand at a hotel.
like they're just walking in a column somewhere, and it doesn't look very sensible. And I think that's the thing. Have we got to go? Are we off skis?
We're good. I got a few minutes.
Oh, okay. All right, perfect. So big takeaway for you. Like, I mean, I think it was all great and positive. Truthfully.
Yeah, I would have liked to see a little more. I knew we weren't going to see anything from the autumn books because, and I'll tell you why I knew we weren't going to see anything from the autumn books, because they never intended us to know about the autumn book roadmap.
Of course.
Right? They were that was their hand being forced by the release of the Slaves to Darkness leaks. So like we should have been sitting here with no concept that those 4 books were on the other side of this.
Yeah. But I feel like I'm glad we are. Actually,
I'm super glad about it. A rolling 6-month, Rob, for my job, one of the things I am in charge of is our roadmap. It's literally what I spend a lot of my time doing.
I've heard from online sources, which I think are geniuses, that roadmaps actually detract from sales.
This is not true.
Oh, what?
People, in fact, especially now, my business is obviously different, but people in fact have to set budgets, like, and think about what they're going to want to purchase in the future.
I'm losing my mind.
I know this is really revelatory information.
New information
to
me.
I understand,
there's
but
some stuff about the
we should just have a rolling 6-month roadmap.
Yeah, I would like a year, personally.
I would be fine with a year. I'm just saying, if we started rolling 6, I'd be good. Like, constantly rolling 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, updated on the quarter.
Yeah.
Like, until we're fully out of the pandemic, global shipping kind of nonsense, right? I mean, remember, like, China just went back into lockdown again with a couple weeks back. Like, it's stuff in the world is still happening, folks. Like, whatever you think is going on in your neck of the woods, I hope everything's good in your neck of the woods and everything's fine and you're out and about having a good time. And that's fine. But that's not the case all over the world. And that impacts things. Right.
It does impact them, but guess what? Also, like, solves that issue really easy. It's be like, hey, we couldn't get these books because of this issue, and everyone goes, all right, cool.
Yeah. Oh no, on that I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like if you just be transparent and talk about those, I agree. Shareholders don't.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So we've got some look into the mortal realms. Normal humans offer a vital window to the worlds of Warhammer because they've said there's one thing. I'll start at the top. Mortal realms encompass worlds of high magic and impossible vistas. Blah blah blah. So the Age of Sigmar has been a mighty Stormforged warriors against monstrous hordes, elves, etc. But there's one more thing that's been missing: regular dudes. Normal humans offer a vital window to the worlds of Warhammer when demigods clash with demon princes. It's the perspective of these mere mortals that give us the frame of reference that help us imagine the scale. Warhammer 40,000, we compare them to Galaxy's myriad horrors to the humble guardsman. The same is true of the Mortal Realms, and while the miniatures like Vendenza and Lamelda Bascal from the Quest have shown us the cool humans can be.
She is so cool.
Very cool. They've always been a rare among our releases. It's time for that to change, and we reimagine the forces of common humanity in the cities of Sigmar. Organising the fractious free cities is no easy task, so they're probably still quite a way off.
There we go.
So next year. But we don't intend to sit around and wait. Over the coming months, you'll follow these who take up the coin, Malleus, a sacred symbolic payment given to members of a Dawnbringer crusade. We've even managed... It's very English, Vince.
Oh, I know.
Like, it's very English.
You all can't help yourselves.
Like, it's very English.
It's all English, and you hire English people. It's just like, I feel like, yeah, I mean, it's why we got the giants we did, because you all are like, oh, giants are like fairy tale things. They climb beanstalks. And I'm like, that's not giants, man. Nobody outside of this island thinks of giants like that. That's
not one
you
person.
are it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really interesting culturally being inside England and also being aware of England in itself.
Sure.
And they can't help themselves. Here's some sneaky stuff, which will be on Pop Goes the Monkey tomorrow, I'm sure. These are some of the insignia emblems and symbols that will come with your models. Can I just say something? I actually look at a lot of 3D renders. Like, I know that you look at a lot of 3D sculpts as well, but I do a show every month where I look at 3D sculpts from different Patreon designers. And these are very like Titan Forge-esque before they get painted up, where they're very clean and very like they don't have a lot of texture.
Right.
I quite like a lot of the designers that use added texture. I know you don't agree. You like
I'm a smooth guy.
Yeah, and I'm a ridge.
You're
guy.
a texture guy. You like the ridges. I like it smooth.
But like I guess once this gets painted up, we'll add a lot of texture to that.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, this is the kind of stuff I want to see. I love that they're showing us this. Year more out. I love that we get to see this. I love that we're getting a Sisters of Battle style journey into the new relaunch of the humans in this realm. That's right.
Yeah, I agree. I would like to see more story from that element of the realms, because I think actually that's the great untapped market in the Mortal Realms.
Yeah.
I would argue.
Totally agree.
All right, let's get you off to your meetings.
Right on.
I think that's what we got to do. Chat, Vince, thanks for being on the show and doing this together. It was super fun.
Oh my gosh, Rob, absolute pleasure. I was very happy to join you here in command and control in the spaceship, and here in spaceship TSN. It's great.
It's an easy setup, right? Like what no one knows, nothing from the waist down in this show.
Sure.
Nothing, which is good.
You do have pants on.
Yeah,
just to confirm for everyone.
Right. Anyway, thank you. You got any shout-outs you want to make?
Hey, for everybody who was watching on both streams, thank you to everybody who watched over on my channel. Thank you, Rob, for setting this up. Hello, Rob's cultists. It's very nice to meet or to join you on all the show. I would join Rob. I would join your show.
A cult. Like you're
I'm glad you've turned into it.
I'm like whatever. Like if we're a cult, whatever. Because honest war game of crew, best crew.
If you didn't do your show at such a god awful time early in my time in the morning, I'd hang out with you every single morning, anytime you streamed, day or night. It's an absolute pleasure.
Same. It's lovely to have you on. Lovely to share the space with you. It's been a delight. Thanks very much. Hopefully, I don't know if I get to see you more over the weekend, because you're allowed to say that you're at the...
Yeah, I'm at the Heresy event this weekend.
Yeah,
yes.
Which is why Vince is over here in the UK. So, we're going to be hearing more from you. Are you doing any posts, or how can we find out anything you might be doing over the next couple of days?
I don't know. I'll like I said, I'll be at Warhammer World for the open day for Heresy Day on Saturday. Yes. And so, I mean, like, I'll be around, probably, tomorrow. I don't even know, man.
Well, I'm just saying for people listening who want to listen.
Yeah, I don't think I'll have any more content, but I know that you'll see me in, like, the interviews and stuff like that, so.
All right, excellent. I'm looking forward to that a lot. So, anyway, chat, what up? Love you. See you tomorrow. See you soon. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.